Yes.
Looks like we are streaming.
Yes, we are.
Awesome. All set. Let's do this. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Hey, if this is your first time joining us, I'm Ellen Winn. I'm your senior team leader. I've been with DAC for 6 years now, and I'm super excited that you're here and excited about where DAC is headed. Our first several years in the business have been foundational building. We're still building our foundation, but it's stronger than it's ever been. We've got more systems in place. We've got a new app that we just launched. We've got some incredible services. We've got an incredible compensation plan. We just need more quality agents who are willing to go out and get customers and really build this business big. So I do this call every Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern time. We've been doing these now for a little over 3 years. I think we figured that last week. Harlequin Murray is on here as my co-host. I sponsored Harlequin into the business 5 years ago, a year after I'd been here. I introduced her to it the first year that I got started, shortly after signing up, and DAC just wasn't a great fit for her at the time. But then later we circled back around, reconnected, and DAC was the perfect fit. She has one of the largest teams in my organization. Many of you on here tonight are probably in Harlequin's team, but I have some other great team leaders in the organization as well, some great recruiters in the organization. So I'm glad that you're all here, no matter who you came in under. If you're getting my emails, that means that you're on my team. And as a team leader, I just like being a great communicator, making sure that you're plugged in, because I see a lot of times people get started with DAC, they get all excited, they recruit a few people, and then they're off to the next bright and shiny object, and they're leaving people behind. So I tend to be that communicator, making sure that you've always got somebody that you can plug into here if you're a part of my organization. So that's my role. But if you do have an active team leader and you have an active enroller that's following our system and following what is proven to work, then please work with them. I'm here as if you can't get in touch with them, or if you don't have an enroller to work with, I'm happy to help. Okay. Hey, tonight I'm gonna do something a little bit different. Usually I have a slideshow that I go through and cover details. I did look at our recruiting numbers from last month, and a couple of them were just off the chart. I'll go through that next week and do the top recruiters for the month of June. I didn't have time to pull that together at the last minute, as I was really trying to decide what I wanted to cover tonight. But for those of you that are plugging in and going through the Monday leadership Zooms that our founder David Rutz does, if you guys were on today, you probably noticed that David had a little bit of different tone than he normally does. And that is, hey, we're halfway through the year. We're moving into the second half of the year. We've got our app in place. We just launched our starting strategy, and it's time to really get serious about building your business. And getting serious about building your business is really just doing two things. Well, a third thing. The first thing is you need to go get personal customers, okay? Whether you're interested in funding, payment processing, our Relevate program, line of credit, any of our business services, or whether you're interested in our healthcare services with our healthcare program with Clearwater, or our RX, Flat Fee RX program. Any of those, and our ID theft program. All of our services are great value to the end consumer. For the business funding, our business funding is going to bring back the best offer for that small business owner if they can't get approved at their local bank. Our payment processing is going to save the customer money. Guys, I just got a client that's doing over $300,000 a month, and we're going to save them thousands of dollars. How did I get that client? A friend of mine worked for that company, knows what I do because I share what I do, and I'll let my friends in my local community know what my business is. And she told her boss that he needed to call me. He did. We ran some numbers for them, and we're going to be able to save them thousands of dollars a month. That was money that was going out the window to their current payment processor. So that's a huge win for that business on their cash flow, on their profitability. And I bet my friend will get a nice raise for making that connection. So good stuff there. But whatever it is that you're wanting to market, we've got a great program for the end consumer. As I said, we're going to get them funding that they can't get if they're not approved at the bank. We're going to save them money with everything else that we offer on healthcare. We're going to save them money and probably put them into better coverage than what they currently have. On our RX plan, hands down, we're going to save them money. And if we don't, then they don't need to subscribe, right? If they're not spending more than $20 a month on prescriptions, and if our program's not going to take their current bill down below what it currently is, then they're not a great fit for us. But everybody that signs up, they're going to be in a better situation if the numbers make sense. Okay, so that's what we do. We find a few customers and we find a few agents who want to get started with us or affiliates. And then we put them through the getting started strategy, right? Going out and getting yourself qualified with 50 personal residual revenue points. What is that? I want to talk about that for a second, because sometimes when I look at our compensation chart or when I listen to replays of trainings, I want you to understand that going and getting 50 personal residual revenue customer points means that if you go get long-term customers, you just get them one time. You don't have to go get 5 new customers each and every month, although you could, and although I would encourage you to do that so that you're building your residual base and moving on up through the compensation plan. But 5 RX customers that stay on that monthly subscription, that means you're a qualified agent every single month, as long as that client stays on the program and doesn't cancel the service, right? Another thing I was looking at today, as far as our compensation and getting customers, if you look at the funding chart in our compensation, it shows as you move on up through the ranks, you go DAC 1, DAC 2, DAC 4, and then moving on into area trainer, regional trainer, area director, regional director, national director, and all these different levels that you move up. It shows a total number of funding customers that you have to have. And that's in total, not each and every month. So unless you're just doing funding, you can get a client one time and that client will count for your qualifications month after month after month. Okay. So understand that about gathering customers. I have customers of every service that we market, with the exception of Relevate. I don't have any Relevate accounts. That's more for a 50 or more employee group, and I really haven't marketed that heavy. We were looking to bring on international transfer of money. That hasn't come to fruition yet because the bank behind the card, Sutton Bank, they haven't been able to do that. It's a lot more difficult than they thought it was going to be because of money laundering laws that are in place in the US. So that's the only service that we market that I don't have customers on. I have dozens of funding customers. I've had payment processing customers since we first started doing payment processing. I've got identity theft customers, and I'm my own identity theft customer. I'm my own RX customer, and I have outside RX customers. I'm my own healthcare customer. I have outside healthcare customers. Okay. So everything we market, I'm using, and I have customers. So when I'm teaching you and talking to you about getting customers, I'm not asking you to do anything I haven't done myself. Also on the recruiting side, when I first got started, I know many of you have asked the question before, going, okay, I need to go get some customers and prove this works before I start building a team. No, don't do that. Don't wait. I can promise you it works. I'm proof that it works. David Rutz is proof that it works. Harlequin is proof that it works. And all of our customers can show you that our services work. This business works if you go to work and follow the systems, right? But the day that I signed up to become an independent agent with DAC on June 2nd, in 2018, I saw the opportunity, I got excited about it, and I sent out an invite to a friend of mine who I know likes B2B marketing. In fact, he had just sent me a message asking me to like his Facebook page. I responded, I went over and I looked at his Facebook page and I realized he was doing B2B services still. So I sent him a message through Messenger, said, hey, I just liked your page, or I responded to your like my page request. And I've just run across a program that looks like it might be a really good fit for what you're already doing. Are you open to taking a look? And he said, sure. So listen to what I said, right? Might be a great fit for what you're doing. Are you open to taking a look? It may or may not be a good fit, but he came and took a look at it. He got started day one and he started recruiting like crazy. The end of the first month, I think I had like 300 people on my team, something like that. I'd have to look back at my numbers. But guys, one person can make a huge difference in your business. But the one person that's going to make the biggest difference, hands down, in your business is you. So go take a look in the mirror and look at yourself and say, look, I'm the one that's making my business work or not work. Because if you're not willing to tell other people about the agent opportunity, you're missing out on the potential to recruit someone that's really going to help explode your business. If you're not willing to tell people about our services, you may be missing out on the opportunity to help someone who's struggling to pay their bills and be able to pick up the prescriptions that they need. You may make a difference in somebody's life by being able to help them spread their budget dollars to cover all that they need, because we can get them out of that high price prescription into our low cost plan. So really just look at yourself and what it is that you want out of DAC. The key to success here is to stick and stay and do something every day. Do something every day towards your business. 2 a day and 10 in play is our ultimate goal as far as having prospective clients, prospective agents. If you'll do that and always have something going there where you've got communication going out using our new app, you'll start seeing some amazing things happen in your business. But what I see most people doing in network marketing is they get all excited about a program, they sign up, they get started, they give it just a couple, 3 months max. And if they're not making a lot of money at the end of that time, they're looking at the next shiny object that looks exciting and goes, oh, well, this looks better over here. None of them are better. They're all the same. They all require that you put in work. They all require that you either sell products or recruit people or both. Most of them are going to be both. But where DAC stands out is that we don't have a barrier to entry. So it's easier to build a team here and to recruit people to get started. But where we all, myself included, we all have to get better, and that is to transition from the old DAC method of getting started, which was get started, pick what it is that you want to market, and go out and get some customers. That used to be our message when someone got started, but it's changed. We've flipped that message, and now that message is get started, and right out of the gate, we need to help you get your 50 personal residual revenue points, residual revenue clients, personal clients. A RX client is worth 10 residual revenue, so 5 of those gets you to 50. And the purpose of flipping that switch and getting everybody on the same page is that's what creates duplication. If you're going, I don't know if I want to get 5 customers. I don't know if I want to do that. I'm here to focus on funding. You can do that. But I promise you, if you are building a team, and even if you're not trying to build a team, if you're marketing our services, you're going to accidentally build a team, because somebody's going to see what you're doing and hear what you're doing, and they're going to go, hey, how can I do that? Right? And they're going to sign up. Harlequin, can you attest to that one, that people will get started whether you try to recruit them or not, just because they see that we've got some phenomenal services?
Absolutely. I've had that happen more than once.
Yep. So people are going to want to join the business with you if you're marketing our services. So go out, and whether you're marketing funding or everything else, Follow that plan, that duplicatable plan. It gets you qualified to earn on your team. It gets you qualified in the residual plan to earn 3 or 4 or 6 levels deep in your organization. And it shows your team leaders that you really want to be here and have success. Plus, if you're getting customers, then it's real easy for you to teach someone else how to do that. I told you, I'm here to help whoever, but I can't help everybody, right? So I need you guys picking up the pace, picking up the slack, and learning how to get customers on your own so that when you bring new people in, you can say, hey, let's go get you 5 RX customers immediately. RX customers is the easiest service that we market because everyone around you knows someone who is spending more than $20 a month on prescription drugs. Just got to ask the question and see where the answers lead you. Okay, I want to open up and see what challenges you guys have. I want to give you an opportunity to raise your hand. You can do this under the React, and they've changed my screen here. The React button, when you click on that heart React, it gives you a raise hand bar at the bottom of that. I'd love to hear from you if you've got questions or challenges or anything DAC. I'm here to answer your questions. And I've got Nicole with a hand up. Thank you, Nicole. How are you doing tonight? I'm going to ask you to, I'm sorry. You unmuted and I muted you trying to ask you to unmute. Sorry about that. How are you doing tonight?
I'm fantastic, Ellen. Thank you so much for your leadership. I really do appreciate all your encouragement. Now, I just started focusing on recruiting as well as the health share. I wanted to switch away from the funding since I wasn't getting any loans approved. So I said, okay, well, let me just try something different. Well, I started using the app, but I'm kind of old school because I like going out into the market, meeting people, and I use the phone to reach out to a lot of people. So I'm trying to figure out, how do I incorporate the app with my daily marketing activities, because I sent out 27, I copied and pasted the link from the app, but it's not showing up on the app that I guess sent it out. So I'm just kind of confused on how am I supposed to be using the app in connection to what I'm already doing.
Okay. And Harlequin, if I'm don't say something on this, you're welcome to. Harlequin's on the top. How many on the messages there? How many?
I ended up number 15 for the month.
Awesome. All right. Good job. Well, I'm not even close to that. I've had a lot going on and I haven't been focused on the app like I should, but I can answer your question.
Okay.
When you reach out to someone, Nicole, if you have a conversation with them, the reason they're not showing up in the app is because you have to enter in a contact, individual contact. So if
Okay.
you're just copying the link and sending it out to multiple people, that's not registering them as an individual contact. And it doesn't give you the same tracking capability as it does, because anytime you enter a new contact and you send out a link specifically to them, it generates a tracking link that's unique to that one contact. Okay. So if you're reaching out by phone, in my case, I'll give you an example. I have multiple things out there. I'm real busy with my Chamber of Commerce. And when somebody reaches, a lot of times people are reaching out to me because I've met them and they're following up. But when they reach out to me, I get a phone call, I talk to them and I find out what it is they're interested in. I go ahead and enter them into the app. I say, well, let me send you some information on that. Let me get your name and I put it in as a contact, right? So that's what you want to do on the phone is enter each person's first name, last name, their email address, phone number, get their contact information, and then go into which media you're going to send, and then select whether you're sending it to an individual or to a group. And then you'll be able to copy that link and send it by email or text message that route. So that should help you get those people in there. And then you've got the ability to see whether they actually went in and opened your message, whether they watched the video, how much of it they watched, and so on. Does that help answer your question?
It does. So if they actually open the link, even though I copied and pasted and sent it to them, if they open the link, will it still register back into my app, even though I don't have them as a contact?
Uh, I don't think so. It
No?
may let
Okay.
you know. What's the answer on that one, Harlequin? I've only done it by adding contacts.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I haven't done the copy link. I've done social media posts with it,
Okay.
because that also doesn't count as you sending it out to a unique person. Um, but I believe it will still tell you if somebody clicks on that link. And if they
Okay.
request additional information, it will have them put their contact info in and send that information to you.
Okay.
It will send an email to you. But yeah, a couple of things. One, whenever you send it to an individual, you can either put their information in manually. You can you can go into your device, if you're on your cell phone, you can go
Mhm.
and pull up your contacts and it will let you do a search in your contacts and put that person in so you don't have to type it in. There's also a way, like I sometimes go to events where I collect, 20 business cards. There's a way that you can go and on the desktop version of it, you can there's a Excel spreadsheet and you can download that format. Then you can just go and type in all of those people's names and upload that file into your contact list.
Oh, awesome. Okay. I
Yeah.
think I might be better with the desktop version than my phone.
Yeah. I personally, I've got an older desktop, so it's a little bit of a challenge for me because
Okay.
it won't pull up my email account to send out emails.
Okay.
So, but that's something that I personally have an issue with. Um, but you can still go and generate it on your phone and then save it as a draft and up, I like whenever I go to an event where there's a bunch of people that I'm sending
Right.
emails out to, I'll usually go and I tend to personalize the email that I send out. So I'll go and create a template for that particular event that I went to.
Okay.
And then you can, if you know how to use templates in Gmail,
Mhm.
you can Google that. It's very easy to do that. But I'll go and I'll do that. And then I copy, whenever I pull up the draft, I've got the link and I just put that into the template.
Okay.
Does
Yeah,
that
I
make
was able,
sense?
yeah, it does. I did create my own link to my own template today. I did kind of like tweak it a little bit, but that makes a lot of sense. So, okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and the other thing is if you're meeting somebody in person, you can just go and say, hey, if you're interested in this, do you mind if I send this, is it better if I text you or email you some more information about it?
Okay. Got it. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Perfect. Thanks, Harlequin. And by using the app and sending those contacts out, it's really easy. I use email and I've been using spreadsheets as tracking, but it's a lot easier to go into my app and click on my contacts and see who I've reached out to, right? And then you go back through and you go, oh, wait, I didn't follow up with them, or you can set the follow-up reminders and so on. So getting familiar with the app and using it more and more is going to help all of us. And I'm going to get better this month at using that. I think I've got some of the things off of my plate that were hindering me this past month in using it. Okay. Anybody else have questions, comments, concerns?
Actually, I'll make another comment. Something that while playing around with it, I've discovered you can create groups and you can also create tags within your contact list. So for example, if you have a group of people that you met at a certain event, you can put them in that group. Or if that's how I'm setting up groups for where I met them. And then there's also tags. So I'm going and tagging people. If it's somebody that I'm looking to recruit, I put a recruiting tag on it. If it's somebody I'm talking to about RX or whatever it is that I'm, each of the different services, I can go in and I can pull up everybody that's tagged that way or everybody that's in that group. If I want to go and focus on, it's like sometimes you want to get into a mindset of, okay, I'm going to be talking to people about the pharmacy plan right now, or I'm in recruiting mode. And that way you can make a bunch of calls all at the same time with that.
Awesome.
And I see
Good
we've
feedback
got
there.
somebody with their hand up, but there's also someone on a cell phone that has themselves unmuted. It's an 804 area code.
Yeah, did
Yeah,
you have a question?
this is Ray, Ellen, and Harlequin. How you doing?
Hey, Ray. Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. So, I have a question. So this would probably be for Harlequin because this was from the call on Friday, and I was listening in on the call while I was at work. There was a guy asking a question about Craigslist, and I believe you had answered Harlequin that if he posts anything on Craigslist that they will remove the DAC link. So, well, if you had a domain name instead of the DAC link, will Craigslist still remove it, or being that if you had the domain name, they wouldn't? That's what I had wanted to know. But I wasn't actually in the call. I was actually listening to the recorded call. So
Yeah, no, if you're running Craigslist ads, I recommend that you use domain names only. Don't use the long DAC URL because it's real easy for somebody. If they're flagging David Allen Capital, then it's easy to do a search for David Allen Capital and they pull up everybody's ads. And sometimes people are actually in there flagging them and getting Craigslist to pull them. So yeah, just use a domain name and you'll be good to go on those. Okay.
okay, yeah, that was what I wanted.
Yeah,
Go
yeah. I
ahead. I'm
also
sorry.
recommend that you put a phone number in there because a lot of times people want to talk to someone, especially if you're running if you're running funding ads, put a phone number in. If you're running recruiting ads, I typically don't put a phone number in because a lot of people will call and say, "Hey, tell me about the business. I saw your ad. Tell me about the business."
Yeah.
And I go either way with that one. If they say, "Tell me about the business," then it's easy to get off on this conversation about DAC. And 15 minutes later, you're still telling them about the business. You can put a phone number in and say, "Okay, great. Well, let me ask you, have you been to my website yet?" And most of the time, they're going to say no because they called you first wanting to talk about it. Say, better than me telling you, I'd like to send you to our video so you can hear a short 4-minute overview from our company founder and CEO. If you like what you hear in that video, then there's a longer version of it. After you've watched those, I'm happy to answer any questions that you have, but rather than me tell you bits and pieces of it, the best way for you to get the information is watch the video. Can I send that to you right now and then add them to your app and send it out to them that way? Then you get an alert letting you know if they've actually gone in and watched the video on your partner page.
Okay. Thank you.
Right. Yeah, you bet. Good question. Thanks for that, Ray. Hey, Joe Parsons, let's ask you to unmute. Oh, you're unmuted. How you doing tonight?
Good. How are you? I'm just brand new to this. I just joined.
Welcome.
I joined under UL, and I had watched your videos through the David Allen Capital YouTube channel on the healthcare, and that's kind of what got me interested. And so I found your link and I joined under you. But my question is this product, and really this is why I got intrigued, because I've had people heavily try to recruit me for different network marketing positions, because I know everyone in my community. I'm a city council member. My family's owned a restaurant that's been here for a long time, been here all my life.
Nice.
And I've never done it because the companies just were too they've been around too long. They were too big. There was really just no upside that I could see. Where this is a little bit different, and I haven't seen anyone in my area really market this, and that's what got me intrigued in it. Is I just don't see anything like this being marketed. I'm in rural Oklahoma, but I didn't know if there's any resource for me to connect with other people who may be doing this, and because I signed up under you because you're the only one I could really find online. But or even connect with you. I know you're really busy, but just to do kind of a strategy session so I can say, this is, my thoughts. What are your thoughts on that? What do you think I need to do to succeed? I mean, I've seen all the videos, but one thing that I really am interested in, I serve on a couple different boards for nonprofits, and I'm really into the nonprofit community in my area. I have a lot of contacts, and I think the fundraiser platform is just genius. Residual revenue for those organizations, I think it could be, change many lives, and that through fundraising for these people, as well as be a good business opportunity. And that's something I'm super excited. But who would, I mean, on stuff like that, is this what this calls for, or would that be something that maybe I could schedule a strategy session with someone at a later time, or what would you recommend there?
Yeah. So these calls are general overviews and general questions, but Joe, you signed up under your full name. So thank you for saying you signed up, because you just got started today, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, because I sent you a welcome email and I
Yep.
sent you a welcome text saying, hey, I just sent you an email. So yeah, no, I'm your enroller. I'm happy, and thank you for jumping on here and introducing yourself. I'm real excited about your background. I was a restaurateur and in the restaurant space for years in my local hometown here. I'm very involved with my local Chamber of Commerce. I'm on the board of directors with my Chamber of Commerce. So I've got my hands in a lot of things in a similar fashion as you do. So you and I can have some great conversations. Offline, we'll schedule a call and do that and go through some ideas with you, some strategy session. Okay. So yeah,
Yes,
just
ma'am.
reach out to me. You've got my cell phone.
Okay,
The
perfect.
best way to schedule time with me is to just shoot me a text
Okay.
and let's plan. If you're in Oklahoma, you're in Central Time?
Yes.
Okay, I'm in outside of Atlanta, so I'm on Eastern Time. We're only an hour apart, which is great. And yeah, I'd love to talk to you and let's get a strategy together. I'm glad you found me, and thanks again for introducing yourself
Out of
tonight and kind of
curiosity,
giving me that big
what
picture.
restaurant what restaurant did you work for?
I was in the pizza business. I worked in local restaurants and bars many years after coming out of college. I went to bartending school, was in that local neighborhood bar scene for a long time. And then honestly, I loved to party. And I'm like, if I'm going to live a long, healthy life, I need to get away from the bar scene and continue on in the restaurants, but maybe where they're not serving alcohol and partying all the time. So I started working with Domino's Pizza and had an 8.5 year run with them. I was running the whole state of Georgia, or not running it. I was operations director at one point and regional training director over the state of Georgia, and just really got tired of the corporate thing and left them, started my own brand. So I was an owner operator of a couple of pizza restaurants in my hometown community. So a lot of fun with that. And I still have, that was 1997 to 2003. And I still have people saying, Ellen, you need to open a pizza restaurant again. Folks
Yeah.
that remember our food, because it was really good. So it was fun, a lot of work. So
Oh
bless
yeah,
you.
definitely.
Anybody in the restaurant space, that's hard work.
But it's a great way to build contacts and build them fast, because if you make people feel like they're at home when they're in your restaurant, then I mean, that's the other thing, just having that place, having a busy restaurant to market to. I thought, man, this could easily
Oh
um,
yeah.
be
And what kind of
successful
restaurant
with
you
the right
guys
way.
have?
It's an American diner, so we're the old fashioned chicken fried steaks, home cooked food. We've been there for 5 years, but my mom was actually was in charge of all corporate training for a restaurant. It's called Eateries Garfield's. And so I just saw you were a corporate trainer. I thought that was interesting because that's what my mom did for many years before she decided to get out of the business for a time.
Awesome. What a small world. Well, thank you, Joe. I look forward to working with you and having a chat and strategy session, doing what we call a game plan. Okay.
Sounds good. I appreciate it.
You bet. Thank you.
A
Harlequin,
really
I can
quick,
see
a
you're
really
wanting to speak
quick,
up there.
yeah, a really quick question for you, Joe. What part of Oklahoma are you in?
So I'm in northwest Oklahoma, about 15 miles from the Kansas border. So it's a
Okay,
small town called Alva.
I've heard of it actually.
Really? Wow, that's surprising.
Yeah. Well, awesome. I don't have any contacts in that area, but I do in other parts of Oklahoma. That's why I was asking.
Well, now you do.
Okay, awesome. Well, welcome.
There you go. All right, guys. Anybody else? Any questions, comments before we wrap up? I don't like to unnecessarily run these long, so chances are going. We will wrap up, guys. We got a tremendous lineup tomorrow for your training and product knowledge. Okay, tomorrow at 11:30, I'm doing the healthcare, and I'm going to be doing role play tomorrow on the RX program. Last week, Brian asked that, Brian's Beats. He said, hey, can we do some role play? And so that's what we're doing tomorrow, role play with RX customers. If you have some drugs that we'd like to look up and you want to do a role play with me, come on and just raise your hand, because I'm going to ask for volunteers to do a role play tomorrow at 11:30 healthcare Zoom. And then at noon tomorrow, I'm going to be doing a live business overview. So if you've got prospects that you want to get on there to see me do a 30-minute or less business overview from A to Z about our business opportunity, invite them. So from 11:30 to 12:30, we'll be doing back to back. I wouldn't necessarily invite the guests to the 11:30, but you might, if they want to know more about the RX program, I'll be happy to show them that as we go through. And then tomorrow night, it's the first Tuesday of the month. So we've got our first Tuesday, 8 p.m. Our CEO and founder, David Rutz, will be doing a live business opportunity meeting. And following that at 9 o'clock, he'll be doing training. And it's all going to be on team building, because our business growth model is building teams who are going to go get customers, right? We don't have paid employees. Our whole marketing strategy is through word of mouth marketing, building teams of individuals or organizations, like Joe was asking about the fundraising. We mentioned that. That's a great way to bring on lots and lots of RX customers with one or two conversations to get an organization in as a fundraising group. So all of that is our model. And then we repeat. So it's real simple. Most people aren't willing to do what it takes to be successful, but a little bit every day, plugging away can make a tremendous difference. Just like when I had my restaurant, I've told this story before, but I got my business plan together. I had $150,000 invested before I could open the doors for the very first day of business. Plus, I had spent 7 months of research and development. So 7 months of my time was not getting paid, $150,000 invested. Now I opened the doors for the first day of business on a hope and a prayer that people were going to show up, because I was afraid to do marketing when I opened, because I was in my hometown community and I had so many people coming by and wanting to know when we were opening. I really didn't do any marketing before that first day. I was afraid we'd be overwhelmed and have more business than we could handle. And I didn't do a grand opening really until we've been open for about a week. I wanted employees to really go through the real life customer scenario before we did that. But to get the word out, we did door hangers. We went out, we put flyers in the community. We had drivers driving around, talking to customers and saying, hey, do you know Winn's Pizza is open? And making sure people had our phone number. And we're doing the same thing. It's no different marketing with David Allen Capital. We just got to get the word out in the community that we're open for business and what it is that we do and how we can help and how you can passionately help people save money or grow their income if they want to be an affiliate with us. So come out tomorrow. Hope to see you guys, and let's just pack our rooms. We've got to start getting some momentum in this team, get the momentum rolling again, and it starts with you. Thanks for being here tonight. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Have a blessed evening. Hey, Ron. Yes, 11:30 Eastern time tomorrow. See you then.